Welcome to Sports Guy Talking. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about the impact that Donovan Mitchell has had for the Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell has played so well for them to the point where the Cavaliers are now in playoff position, which is a rare thing to say about the Cavs in general. If the Cavs end up making the NBA playoffs this season, this will be the first time that this franchise has accomplished that since the 2018 NBA season. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So here it is. How well has Donovan Mitchell played for the Cavaliers this season? And honestly, I think that he's played absolutely fantastic for the Cleveland Cavaliers. This guy has been a tremendous leader for them. He's given them a boost on offense. He's been providing them really good defense as well. When you look at this Cavs team, they are surprisingly deep. The Cavs are not being talked about nearly enough. There's a reason why they're a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference, and it's not because it's luck. It's because they've got a good roster and they've got a lot of young players that are exciting. And they got good role players that are playing in their roles. You've got Donovan Mitchell. He's been their main star player for them. He's been playing excellent basketball for them, and he's been distributing the basketball, getting boards, scoring points, being the bucket getter that he is. Then they've got Darius Garland to pair up with Donovan Mitchell. He's done a good job complementing Donovan Mitchell on the offensive side. Then you've got Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, the two twin towers that I like to call them. They've been playing really well offensively and defensively. They got Karis LeVert. He's been playing solid basketball for them. And they've got Cedi Osman. He doesn't put up the numbers, but he's a good role player that knows his role really well, and you've got to respect that. When you look at this Cavs team, they are blending really well together. And let me give credit to head coach JB Bickerstaff, because JB Bickerstaff has done an excellent job blending this team together, maximizing the potential of this team. They pass the basketball really well. They score the ball really well. Defensively, even though they got two tall people on the defensive side of the ball, they can switch, they can get the rebounds, they can get the blocks. Evan Mobley has been a cheat sheet for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Not only is he a tall guy or big, but he's a guy that can basically handle responsibilities like a guard because he can dribble up the floor. He's been playing really well for them. But let me get back to Donovan Mitchell. We talk about the limitations of Donovan Mitchell before the season. We knew Donovan Mitchell was a good player. When you've got Donovan Mitchell being the bucket getter that he is, he's a guy that can impact the game at a high level. The Utah Jazz, yeah, you could always say that they fell short, but it wasn't because of Donovan Mitchell. If anything, they were falling short because their second best player was Rudy Gobert. Speaking of Rudy Gobert, that trade that the Minnesota Timberwolves executed was beyond horrible. It was horrible execution. It was a dumb trade then, and it's even dumber now. However, for the Cleveland Cavaliers, trading for Donovan Mitchell was a smart trade for them. Yeah, they might have given up a lot to get Donovan Mitchell, but Donovan Mitchell so far this season has proven that he's absolutely worth it. And right now, when you look at this Cavs team, they look like they're about to end a playoff drought that they had in Cleveland. And honestly, this is the first time in my lifetime that I'm seeing the Cleveland Cavaliers make the playoffs without LeBron James, which is just really weird to think about, because when you think about the Cleveland Cavaliers, it starts and ends with LeBron James. You don't really think about anyone else. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's certainly a little strange to think about it like that. And it's nice to see what the Cavs can do post LeBron era and not be a laughingstock, because that's not something you could say about the Cleveland Cavaliers very often. When you look at LeBron James, he is the face and soul of that franchise, but at some point you've got to move on from your players, especially when that player is no longer even on that roster, because he already bolted for another team in free agency, not once but twice. And to see them be able to finally have a good basketball team, you just got to feel happy for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It seems like they have finally found their star player and players that they can use to surround Donovan Mitchell. They've got guys on the offensive side that can score. They've got guys that can play defense. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, although they might not maintain their top 4 finish, they still might be a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference, and they look like they're going to be a team to be reckoned to fortune with. If they can get the right matchups in round 1 of the NBA playoffs, they might even win that matchup. That's how good the Cleveland Cavaliers have played this season. When you look at Donovan Mitchell, people don't realize just how good Donovan Mitchell has been. Donovan Mitchell has played so well that I'm going to call him a top 4 guard in all of basketball. Only Luka Doncic, Damian Lillard, and Steph Curry have outplayed Donovan Mitchell this year at the guard position. That's how ridiculously good Donovan Mitchell is. When you talk about the top guards in the game, and when you talk about the guards that are most notable in terms of popularity, you think of guys like Kyrie Irving, you think of guys like James Harden, you think of guys like LaMelo Ball, and no disrespect to those guys are great at what they do. But Donovan Mitchell, you've absolutely got to put his name in there. He's absolutely a top 4 guard in the NBA this season, and there's even room for argument that he could be be a top 3 point guard, depending how you feel about Steph Curry's availability this season. But when you look at Donovan Mitchell, he's been absolutely fantastic for them. The Cleveland Cavaliers, what they aren't telling you about Donovan Mitchell is this: Donovan Mitchell has been a great leader, he's a great bucket getter, and he's been a great face of the franchise for them, and he's giving them something to cheer for post-LeBron era, so you've got to give him tremendous credit for that. What Donovan Mitchell is doing is far from easy, but he's done an excellent job with that. Give him credit where credit is due. So that is why Donovan Mitchell has been really fantastic for the Cavaliers this season. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @DustinTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinTran and @SportsGuyTalking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel Sports Guy Talking.